Hey, in this video, we're going to try and answer the question, what is a theme? So this comes up a lot in English classes when your teachers are trying to get you to read a story or a poem, or you're reading something literature, and they're going to ask you theme. They're going to ask how does the theme develop and how is it significant and things like that. That's what we're talking about in this video. So first of all, let's define what is a theme. I like to answer it like this. A theme is not what happens, it's not where it happens, it's not who it happens to. There's different names for all those other things. The theme is what the story or the poem or whatever is about. Now, that can be confusing sometimes because we might be thinking, well, what it's about is what happens. And though that's true to a degree, that's not the topic, right? What happens is not the topic. And so think of theme as topics, the ideas, the concepts, the things that everything is about and everything relates to. Make sense? A little bit, hopefully. Okay, so once you've figured out a theme, or you understand what a theme is, how do you recognize a theme within a story or a poem? Well, obviously you want to pay attention to what everyone keeps talking about, the things that keep popping up. If it's being repeated, it's probably what it's about. Or it's one of the themes that it's about, because there can be more than one theme in a story, a poem, because a story can be about more than one thing. Does that make sense? So we're still meeting that definition. Okay, so look at what's being repeated. Not just where it's happening, because that's setting, not who it's happening to, that's character. Or what's happening, because that's plot. You want to think about the topics, the ideas that keep being repeated. Are they talking about love? Are they talking about hate? Are they talking about betrayal? Are they talking about race? Are they talking about religion? Are they talking about gender? All these things. These are themes that can be repeated. And there's more specific versions of it. If we look at something like Romeo and Juliet, what kind of love are we talking about? We're talking about forbidden love between two whiny teenagers who just make bad decisions. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So, topic is theme. Theme is topic. All right, so how do themes develop over a story? Well, just like the plot, what happens will develop throughout a story. There's the beginning, a middle, and an end. An author who's trying to make a point or trying to develop an idea, a theme throughout the story, will also update, change, adapt how they reference that idea. And if they're not updating it, they're simply trying to draw your attention to it by repeating it over and over and over again. In the case of a story, what is the significance or what's happening? What are the result of the love? As an example, let's say love at the beginning of the story. How are they talking about love? How are they talking about love in the middle of the story? How are they talking about love in the end? That might be how the author develops that particular theme. If we're talking about a poem, for example, one thing you see a lot in a poem is a chorus or lines that are intentionally being repeated. So, are the lines being updated? Are they the same? What is the context for how it's being used? Is that changing and updating? And that all helps you to figure out the significance, the importance of what the author is trying to get across. Because the theme is what the story, the poem, the play, the movie, the whatever is about. It is significant in and of itself. We should pay attention to that. And if there is a message or a moral or a point that the author is trying to make about that theme, it's important that we recognize it. And then also, as critical readers, we should go further to think about whether we agree with what the author is saying and how effective the author is at saying it. Just because someone publishes something, someone writes something, someone posts it on the internet, it doesn't necessarily make it good or great or bad. It just makes it a thing. It's up to us to determine whether we think it's good or bad or great or whatever. So, let me recap. Theme is the main topic, or main topics that a story, a poem, whatever is about. It's not what happens, it's not who it happens to, it's not where it happens. There's other names for those things. The theme is what it is about, right? Okay, so over time, throughout the course of the story, the poem, you may see that theme referenced, that idea referenced. It may change, it may be the same. We need to pay attention to that, and then we need to think about how effective the author is in making his or her point about that. When we've done that, we've kind of done our due diligence to think critically about it, specifically when we're focusing on theme. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions about theme, please ask me in the questions below, or if you know me, ask me in person. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.